I'm grateful that in all humility, we cannot disagree with the fact that this is a very, hardworking guy who is undoubtedly representing and adding to the catalog, the culture of other artists who were not in that era.
Unless, of course, you educate us on that.
Which is Black Sheriff, our own brother, and King Paluta.
Okay, so, okay.
And then he goes on this morning to say, Black Sheriff ranks as one of the Ghanaian artists essential to Ghanaian hip life. I'm making my points from there to Sheriff, our brother, and then King Paluta. I want to ask, what are their roles in hip life? Anyway, then what is Samini doing in there? If their style is contemporary, what is Shatta doing in there? Their style is not contemporary enough to be mentioned as even the current artist of the year. Are we writing in the past? I'm confused. There's a lot of questions.
You are welcome back to Vibes 24 Trends. Mensa update be a person eche. Now in this particular update, the Big Nation president Waba abe responded to critics. Grammy article and seme baye what he said about it, and yasema it wasn't kakokano. Now Stonebwoy Chiremwa was see what was Black Sheriff doing in there? What was King Paluta doing in there? Now on the Stonebwoy, is he also not supposed to be there? Was see this Grammy article, I have those ujina suyi and some kind of Chiremwa. He will never retract that statement. Now Biamus was see Charles Nyama Mensa Junior Shatawali, what is he doing over there? What is Tamini doing over there? Into one sono, enya de wasn't kotimi go biana. Stonebwoy din same bituda. E kan san same we American. E de chire we hu. Na me say omre, e be go this particular short video the time at Stonebwoy and ye MC portfolio omo have ye an interview no.
And I stand on fact. Read where I said that the name Stonebwoy cannot be omitted when it comes to the true image of what the state of the Ghanaian sound.
Which I think people have not disagreed, but they are disagreeing on the premise that this was emphatic. Unless, of course, today Overlord want to tell me, please do have...
Hold on. Continue. This was emphatic to high life. To hip life.
To hip life. And the era, it was very emphatic about an era.
But he mentioned some other artists who were not in that era.
Unless, of course, you educate us on that.
Which is Black Sheriff, our own brother, and King Paluta.
Okay, so,
And then he goes on this morning to say, Black Sheriff ranks as one of the Ghanaian artists essential to Ghanaian hip life. Look, that's what's on the portal. Have you seen this? How do you explain that?
Okay, so we want to shift away from... Now, I'm centered on you.
I get it.
Yes.
So I'm centered on the Ghanaian sound. I'm centered on the article being half-dosed. TikTok has also expressed his displeasure.
Right.
And has detailed. Kokese has come to say that if you don't write your own story, so people will carry it from different angles, trying to pin it different ways. I'm grateful that in all humility, we cannot disagree with the fact that this is a very, hardworking guy who is undoubtedly representing and adding to the catalog, the culture of Ghanaian music.
Certainly.
So when Livingston says Stonebwoy deserves a mention in such in an article that would represent us on a very international platform. That same platform, Stonebwoy has the most articles written about him on Grammy platforms. Check it out. So it's not, so that should tell you that it's not the platform, it's not about my name in the platform, but it's about some of the things that we have to stand up for. You understand?
Okay, so I have.
So what do you make of, this is an example. I definitely have to state I'm not attacking nobody.
No.
It's in context to the thing. Black Sheriff ranks as one of the Ghanaian artists essential to Ghanaian hip life. I'm confused. So, and then the details further on in the same. And TikTok says, good attempt, but a very poor delivery. Not resourceful enough to be featured on such a credible space. It's like the writer deciding to write about the story of hip hop and R&B, however, missing some key and relevant information. I will advise Recording Academy to do due diligence, same words I use, to stories like this before publishing them.
Right.
Since it's of a great importance to the Ghanaian music industry. This even further explains what I'm explaining.
Okay. So the reason why I want to omit the
TikTok,
the TikTok,
and
the fact that now it was emphasizing the fusion of the indigenous sound and dancehall, which is a borrowed culture. And to them, the poster boys at that era that was able to blend them was Shatta Wale and Samini. That is where we want to center the argument that it was emphatic. What is your position in hip life? Because you have always championed an Afro dance. The first time I heard Afro dancehall was from you, and that is a part you are chattering. People are of the view that what is your concern with an article that captures hip life?
But hip life is our foundation. Hip life will pay credit to high life, and everything that is today must also pay credit to hip life. So I definitely draw inspiration. I'm a son of hip life till today, but it doesn't change the fact that the article wants to capture the Ghanaian sound. The article is capturing the state of Ghanaian sound, disguising under hip life somehow. And we know better. We cannot sit here to have our sound captured, whereby it takes it all the way and comes back to, I'm making my points from there to Sheriff, our brother, and then King Paluta. I want to ask, what are their roles in hip life?
Maybe because of how they have identified themselves.
Are they hip life artists?
They identify themselves as such.
Have they said they are hip life artists?
For Paluta, I can stick my neck out for him. I have heard Blacko say he does high life and trap. I don't know, something like something of that sort.
Good.
Which obviously
Good.
traces source from the indigenous genre.
So do I not trace my sources also from the hip life inspiration?
So let me read this out real quick. Maybe to give you a better understanding of the issue. I'm coming.
And then it ends up by summarizing it up. It goes head and comes down.
Right.
Summarizes it up with, that's an artist of the year. King Paluta is a new artist of the year.
Right.
And mentions a previous artist of the year. So believe you me, I know better in this industry.
Right.
I speak less. I need to tell you straight.
Right.
I speak less. I know better. I understand the terrain more, and I'm always a student trying to continue to learn.
Right.
When something doesn't make sense, by the grace of God Almighty and by the virtue of the people, an established artist like myself, who doesn't brag about things, those who know me in real life know that I know myself. I don't tout. I know what I'm speaking about. What I've spoke about is the same thing a TikTok is speaking about. It's the same thing Kwa is speaking about. It's the same thing some G8 article is speaking about. This article has tried but does not capture the full state of the Ghanaian sound. May it not hide under hip life to try to coin it in a certain way. Then what is Samini doing in there if their style is contemporary? What is Shatta doing in there if their style is contemporary? What is Sonny Bali doing in there if their style is contemporary? Is my style not contemporary enough to be mentioned as even the current artist of the year? Are we writing in the past? I'm confused. There's a lot of questions I want to ask and I want to know also. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Right.
That is what I am standing for.
And when is the Beam Nation president, Stonebwoy, Aboy, the overlord, the torture, or the two artists, or Kaya, or the MC portfolio, our children, or no name Samawakan, and ya dear, he will ever and ever retract it. Asem no kind was it TikTok impo ababeka the same thing. Kwake senso ababeka the same ni ana kese kwake say HDM1. If you don't write your own story, people will write it wrongly for you. Enti sanse mana kwake se kind nen krofo chiremwa na a shade to a Stonebwoy. Na biemu nso no aboy HDM1 onu Stonebwoy no he is the current artist of the year. Na ehon obe chiremu say or no one I can say a feature in Grammy article most times as a Ghanaian artist. A chain will be a artist or what that article. And when I can say Stonebwoy Babachim so not yet. I was saying the dean it's me a bamupi. The Beam Nation president, Wakasa. A higher vibes 24 trends. When you first time I buy best also subscribe so that any update in Sabekano will be to me.